Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the blockchain.
Now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like LeBron James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. Refuse not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum NFTs. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I got a shout out
Started
to
off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Breaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, miny, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the drive with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
GM, welcome to Coffee with Captain. I'm Cap. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hope you all had a great start to the week and hit your World Cup best yesterday. Holy moly, what a start to the knockout round. I'm not one to comment on past World Cups by any means. Not gonna claim to be the expert. I'm very much becoming a football bro as we speak, but hard to say that that FIFA did not make the right call by expanding the field. I mean, I know it's early. I know we've only had 4 games in the knockout round, but every one of them has been electric. We had, I think, 3 of them, maybe all 4. There was a goal scored in stoppage time, and two of the 3 games yesterday went to penalty kicks. And boy, oh boy, what a finish! Poor Germany. Germany fans down bad after scoring a goal to go up 2-1, only to get it overturned. I don't know. Again, I'm not a referee, but you had goalies that said it did not look like a foul on the goalie. And anyways, brackets are busted. So if you filled out one of those brackets, the perfect bracket challenge by Polymarket or otherwise, and you had Germany losing in round 1, you're ahead of like 99% of the other brackets. I think I saw, like, it depends on which one you entered, but anywhere from like 0.7% to like 2.5% remain after majority, like 97 to 99% had Germany beating Paraguay in round 1. So great start to the knockout round, and it gets better today. We've got Holland and Mbappe. Norway faces Ivory Coast. France faces Sweden, and then Mexico and Ecuador tonight. I saw the Mexicans were camped up outside of the Ecuador team hotel last night, blaring their horns and preventing them from getting sleep. So love to see it. And yeah, should be a fun slate today. I've already have my 7 or 8 underdog drafts in for today's action, and I also have I took a few parlay bets, but simple one, just Holland and Mbappe to score, and then just for some fun. Don't do this; it's unlikely to hit. But I also took both of them to score 2 goals or more. So we're rooting hard for the superstars today, and hope the good run continues. All that said, I know not everyone tunes in for World Cup takes, but I know some of you have become fans with me. So we got to open it up, at least when we have a exciting start. Was a little late getting things warmed up this morning. So I will pin all the proper stuff up now. I'm Cap, by the way. Welcome to Coffee with Captain. We are live on X Audio, X Video, YouTube, and Abstract. You also can find the reminders to the remainder of the shows this week pinned up top, along with the link to today's audio space, the YouTube link, Abstract, and X Video. If you've not already, hit that like and subscribe over there on YouTube. Smash all the buttons here on X, the repost, the bookmarks, the comments, all are greatly appreciated. GM to those who are already helping us get warmed up, from Blockmage to Web3 Warhead, Osiris, Machiavelli, the OGs out and about. We got Teacher Katie over there warming up the Abstract chat, and our favorites here on X. Gucci One, man, it doesn't hit quite the same now that I know how to pronounce it. I think it was Grateful that just spelled it out for me. It's Gucci One. It's pretty simple when it's spelled out like that, but the name threw me for a loop. Von Frunten, we did away with the I don't have the prison mic look today. This hat it's a nice like Nike dry fit material, but I need to wear it in the sauna or something. It needs a good sweat because it's not quite fitted properly like they normally do. But GM Dort, Machiavelli double tapping the GMs this morning, as well as Osiris, Green Edge Dan, Digital Dad, Teacher Katie, Aspiring Nobody celebrating his 29th birthday, Mike Campbell, Brick It All, and more. Dillo out there as always. Ooh, Mel got the plus sign. You know what? I checked yesterday. We were all up to date on X updates. I think we're good unless they did another one overnight. I will check right now, but I don't think we have a X update. I'm curious if anyone has gotten into X money yet. I've seen the headlines, I've seen the takes, the screenshots, although I don't know. I don't have it on my end. I'm guessing it's being rolled out selectively. If anyone knows any details on X money, because it's pretty, FDIC insured up to 10 million, which I didn't even know was a thing. Most banks are like 250K. FDIC insurance up to 10 million on X money, and 6% yield, which is not nothing. People are talking about it's gonna crush banks. Forget banks, like 6% with $10 million of insurance. Going to hurt the DeFi farms. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if how you even get it. I haven't seen, other than the headlines and the screenshots. I haven't seen anything about it. Anyways, I digress. A couple of stories that hit the timeline. I'm not going to go there right now, but in addition to, if there's any other nonsense, make sure you hit your BZ. It's not Gucci One. Well, how is it? So Grateful was trolling me when he pronounced it Gucci One. Then, man, you might just be called. I may just lean into the bit now. You might just be Gucci One forever with me, because that's how it's stuck in my brain, as that was proper. But apparently, that's not how you pronounce Gucci One's handle. Oh man, maybe he's just trolling me that it is Gucci One. I really have no idea, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, head over. The QR code you see up top is the ref link to Beezy. If you've not yet set up an account over there, go get your account set up. They have the they have their raffles going on right now. You can get one free raffle. I think that is anyone. I don't know if you need to have points to get a raffle, a free ticket in each of the 4 raffles, and then it's depending on which raffle, the amount of points you can redeem for additional entries. I'll also, if you need any Rect replenishments, got a Rect QR code up there for our affiliate link with Rect. I loaded up, got a couple extra on the Amazon Prime Day. They did 50% off. But now that that's over, if you need a McAfee, I didn't see it there. It's showing now, but the request was not showing at first. So maybe Mel isn't the only one with X issues today. It was weird. I saw on one of the phones, Mac was you're still as a listener, but I saw your hand pop up as a listener on the Coffee with Captain phone before I even saw you on stage with the main phone. Anyways, Rect affiliate link. If you need, I think you get Gucci One. GM Dillo, GM Osiris helped me out there. That's what I needed. I needed this spelled out phonetically. Now I've got it. Gucci One. We got it. I think we're finally there. I may still lean into Gucci. He said Gucci One giving me the thumbs up. I may still lean into Gucci One though, just for the bit. But don't take any offense if I know that I actually now know how to properly pronounce it.
I came up just to say it too, Cap, because we had a ball yesterday. Everybody talking about how you pronounced it and stuff on the Scrutiny show. So I had to come up here and give Gucci One a shout out.
I love it. I need a new. I mean, for a while, a lot of people couldn't pronounce Zwingli, and now no one even says it. It's just Cap. But yeah. Anyways, Gucci One. I dig it. I need a more fun name. I need to mix it up a little bit. Maybe for the maybe for the sports show we lean into something. So Topps Chrome VFriends 2026 is live on BZ. Congrats on that. I also saw a new VFriends box, like Sapphire or something, going to hit soon. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's the same set as far as I understand it. Maybe just some different, different chances at pulling some rarities. And Swedish TV. Oh, that's just a combined one. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So I've seen like one of the things the soccer content spots will do is a combined, like a best starting 11 of the 2 teams combined. And Swedish TV just did their combined, and it was all French players. Keep in mind they're playing Sweden, so pretty funny. My big question today is for those in the know. Oh, it's not live on BZ. They just wrote a blog for people interested. My bad, Joey. Thanks for the explanation. So VFriends not live on BZ yet. It's just a blog for anyone interested. For anyone that is deep in the football streets, I have a serious question because I fired, I don't know, 7 or 8 drafts this morning, and I ran pretty pure. I kept pulling the 1.1 or 1.2, which is Mbappe or Holland, almost 100% of the time. So Dembele is who I need. I may have to, if I don't get some 1.03s, I may have to take Dembele ahead of ADP just so I get some exposure. Guy's electric. Scored a hat trick already in the World Cup. I know Mbappe and Olise get a lot of the credit. But my big question, because Doe, Doue, keeps falling to me at the turn. So if I get Mbappe or Holland, love those teams. Like if I did, I think 8 builds, like 6 of them have Doe, I don't know how to pronounce Doue. And I don't know if it's up in the air, 50-50, if it's going to be Doe or Barcola that's going to start tonight for that other. And whoever starts there is a value on this attack. Anyways, yeah, if anyone knows if it's going to be Barcola or Doe, if you have to take one way or the other, let me know. And I'm condensing my work. I've got to get done now from, the show wraps at 10. We got post-show debrief with Payne. And then, between 10 and 1, I've got to get my work done because while I do have the computer opened up during the games, it is definitely not my undivided attention. I get on the edge of my seat and leaning into leaning into this stuff. Zane, I said I wasn't going to go there. This actually hit my timeline as I was refreshing the feed to see what other news I needed to hit. But since Zane shared it, I think I have permission now to talk about it. This post from a random bin on X says, imagine a 74-year-old judge reading this after a long week. I'll try to zoom in here. For those who, as far as it's going to let me go, for those who can't see the screen, two images that pop up. It's like the like the strawberry AI videos, except it's the orange head, and then I don't know what the bat is. Is this like a hot dog? I don't know what the other thing is supposed to be. Tung sahur, and un din 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 dun ma din 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 dun are the two characters. But the complaint that the judge is reading here says, defendant Momentum Lab describe itself as the brain rot memes agency. Even though law provides that AI generated content isn't protectable by copyright, defendant claims that it owns or controls the copyrights over a dozen brain rots and the game that were generated by artificially intelligent tools and more than 50% of the entire brain rot universe. For example, defendant contends that it owns or controls the copyrights to brain rots known as Tung Sailor and You Din 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 Dun Ma Din 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 Dun. Digital it's hard for me to say it as not quite a 74-year-old show host that talks about this sort of stuff. I can't imagine being a judge reading this and just like Ben Affleck meme, outside smoking a cigarette right after reading this. Accordingly, the plaintiffs seek an order that defendant does not have copyright protection over the brain rots. What a time to be alive. And this stuff is like, I feel like just getting warmed up. Like we're just now getting some precedent set thanks to Brain Rot and crew. Like maybe more serious. I'm he's like, what? Yeah, this is real. This is a real complaint. What I don't know if it's a real complaint is the Magic Eden class action lawsuit. This is more, I guess, like a real news headline. Ben Grunbaum, former Magic Eden employee, says his NDA has expired. Hold my beer. It says Magic Eden rug pulled its entire community. Should I make a long form video and break it down? I've got names and receipts and nothing to lose. Ben was founder of Magic Lab HQ, does daily streams, was previously at Magic Eden, and apparently he also answered my question on X Money. It will be a tab, so they are rolling it out slowly. Assuming the screenshot is real, below Premium Plus, you'll see a money tab, and apparently you can go claim a free $25. So as a welcome gift when that. So check. I don't have it on my desktop or mobile, but check your X tab if you got the X Money tab there below Premium. You are in line for free $25. I mean, I will move some money over 6%. I will definitely move, some of the one of my fund, whether it's one of the buckets there. I don't know whether we do, rainy day fund or just some cash accounts where I'm not getting 6% currently, and if FDIC insured, I don't know what we have to lose here. Anyways, looks like Ben, after talking about the class action lawsuit, has launched a meme coin. So take everything you read here with a grain of salt. This comes from the South Shore Press. Magic Eden digital asset platform accused of misleading Magic Eden token buyers over promised features. Magic Eden class action. On Coffee with Captain. There we go. We'll swap off this here in a bit, but might be some good bait to get people in here for to help us get things warmed up. Consumers who purchased a digital token promoted as the backbone of a growing online asset marketplace are now seeking legal recourse after alleged failures to deliver on key promises led to steep financial losses. The complaint was filed by Jamie Pagan, Ariel Runo, and Chris Sadowski on June 16th. in the Eastern District of New York against Jack. I can't pronounce the other. Jack's one of the founders, was CEO. I'm not sure the other roles of these team members, as well as Euclid Labs doing business as Magic Eden and Magic Eden Foundation and other unnamed parties. According to the court filing, the plaintiffs alleged that Magic Eden and its founders promoted a digital token called ME with assurances that it would have real use cases within the expanding ecosystem. The lawsuit states the consumers were told ME would function across multiple blockchain networks, providing voting power over platform decisions through a governance system called the MeDAO, reward users for trading or locking their tokens, participate in revenue sharing and buyback programs, and serve as an economic engine for Magic Eden's platform. The complaint details how these promises were communicated through official materials published on the ME Foundation, media interviews with company founders, social media campaigns listed on major cryptocurrency exchanges such as Binance and Coinbase, and various promotional events, including yacht cruises. I went on one of those. Actually, the Magic Eden yacht cruise was the same cruise. It was the same boat that Ape Fest 1 yacht party was on. Little today, did you know? Little history, and it's my understanding it's the largest yacht boat on the Hudson. It is it's not a yacht like you picture it. It's like a cruise boat essentially. It's like a small cruise boat that capacity of a little over 1,000, I believe. Anyways, I digress. My unfond memory of that, the boat was fine. The party was fine. But the core memory, it was fine. It was not memorable. I don't remember a single thing about the cruise itself. What I do remember is walking to the party in gross, I think it was April, was that NFT NYC? It was in April of that year. And just gross, like worst New York weather you could imagine. Freezing rain, just disgusting. Like I was in full North Face gear and miserable. I found the pic, so I'm going to post it up top and give you an idea of how awful that night was. Thankfully, didn't have to wait in line too long. It wasn't, again, not Magic Eden's fault, other than throwing this party in April in New York. But boy, oh boy, was it, again, that's the only thing I remember from that night. The cruise party itself was, I assume it was fine, but just not, nothing memorable, at least not as memorable as the gross weather that was this. Here you go. Happy in the pouring down, freezing rain. It's like 35 degrees, torrential downpour in New York. North Face kept me dry in the inside, but man, I was not the happy camper. Would have rather been camping. Anyways, back to Magic Eden FUD, and not New York weather FUD. And I've got this article shared on stage, or shared on the video feed. I put it up top, and if anyone, I don't know, like I'm not one necessarily to participate in class actions. I didn't really lose. I didn't buy any Magic Eden token. I was disappointed with how they did their airdrop after claiming that people with ETH historical volume were going to get rewarded, and it happened for some, didn't for me. But anyways, the plaintiffs alleged that many of these promised features did not materialize or were significantly delayed. The multi-chain chain strategy, initially described as central to ME's value, was largely abandoned when Magic Eden announced in February it would refocus operations solely on the Solana blockchain and discontinue support for Bitcoin and Ethereum marketplaces. Governance voting was not operational until approximately 9 months after launch. Revenue sharing mechanisms were introduced only after substantial delays. Staking rewards did not match initial descriptions. Trading rewards were limited to seasonal allocations rather than continuous incentives. And a proprietary wallet was required for claiming your tokens, was later shut down amid reported security concerns. The filing outlines specific instances where public commitments appeared to contradict internal plans or subsequent actions. For example, Magic Eden expanded to new blockchains like Monad in late 2025, while allegedly already considering strategic retrenchment from non-Solana operations. Similarly, buyback programs using the platform revenue were announced but later changed and discontinued following declines in company revenues. Plaintiffs described 3 categories of harm suffered by those who acquired or held ME: overpayment at purchase due to inflated expectations about the use case, driven demand, holding period losses from retained tokens based on ongoing representations, and restitutionary injury from providing economic benefits such as liquidity or data without receiving the represented product. The lawsuit does not seek judgment under securities law, but instead relies on New York consumer protection statutes, the general business law sections 349 and 350, along with common law claims of negligent misrepresentation and unjust enrichment. Plaintiffs request relief on behalf of all persons nationwide who purchased or acquired ME tokens during the relevant period. In addition to damages for alleged overpayment, the difference between what consumers paid versus what they would have paid had accurate information been available. Plaintiffs seek restitution for economic benefits conferred upon defendants without delivery of promised features. Named attorneys are not listed in this portion of the document. The case is identified. There's the case number. It's Pagan versus Liu complaint, Eastern District, New York. Yeah, I don't know if anything. I don't know if anything comes of this or not. I went pronunciation final boss. I went from level 5 to level 6, 7. I'm not exactly sure what Osiris means there, but I'll take it. And yes, the quote of the day: I was not a happy camper. I would have rather been camping. Yeah, that is it's Cap Original. It just came to me in real time, believe it or not. And yeah, I don't know. Are you anyone here filing the joining the class action against Magic Eden? Well, I wasn't the biggest fan with a lot of their moves. It happens. Failed businesses happen. I don't know. I mean, I didn't buy anything based on claims or things they made. I got pretty bearish. Actually, it was the airdrop that made me bearish. And so yeah, I will observe this one, but we are going to be having a phonics segment, phonics with Cap, although we may do that on the sports show. But yeah, phonics is challenging for this space in particular. I struggle with soccer players, with football players who I've never pronounced before or heard pronounced. For instance, I was calling the guy, oh, now I'm drawing a blank. Shoot. It doesn't matter. His name is Hames. I would pronounce it James. And now, because I'm thinking about it, it's still James in my head. But yeah, between new soccer names and Web3 usernames, it's tough. It's a tough life. And Joey, yes, there is a way to check how many unopened Panini packs there are. If you go to again, more posts, you can, if you just search ME lawsuit, you can see all those details on the timeline. But for those who are interested in Panini still, Rita is laughing at my name challenges. Rita, that is, to make sure I pronounce that one properly. If you don't know, you just keep rattling off names. And phonics, meaning phonetics, is very on point. That's not a bit, nor was it done intentionally. But brain, my mouth, my tongue doesn't work as fast as my brain sometimes, or vice versa. I'm not sure which way it is. One of those two, though, I'm pretty sure. Those packs, Joey, there's 130. The floor is $139. If you just click through if you click on the pack itself, it'll show you number of unopened packs. So marketplace, packs, soccer, they still call it soccer. And then the 2025 Panini NFT Prism World Cup soccer packs, 139 floor. There's 1,000 listings, and unopened packs is 20,000. So basically, 60% of the packs have been opened to 30,000. There was 50,000 packs dropped, 30,000 been opened, 20,000 remain unopened, and still some grails to go chase. What I don't know would be cool, and I don't know if we have NFTs every day out there or Spinotron this morning, but if anyone knows, how can we find like what grails have yet to be pulled? You know, like here you can see the pack odds. You get either one additional base non-silver parallel, you get 2 base silver cards of 259, you get 1 non-silver parallel, which is of 124 all the way up to 1 of 1s, and then 1 other card. How can we find? Yeah, like Joey asked, how do we know the biggest card pulled yet? And then, you know, which grails, which chase items have not been pulled? I don't know that question. I'm assuming there's a way, whether you go into the data dive or so this is sales history. Let's see what the analytics hub. Not really card specific supply dynamics. You can see it's just more like high level. Maybe we can drill down. Collection. Prism World Cup Soccer. So if we look at legendary, okay, so this just shows what's been burned and what hasn't been burned. It doesn't show what's been pulled and what hasn't. So it's not exactly what I'm looking for here. You can see there was 1,296 legendaries in this set, 41,000 epics, 39,000 ultra rares, 61,000 rares, and 129,000 uncommons out of the total of 272,000. But I don't see, I don't see a way to determine like which grails are still out there. I'll play around a little bit and then we'll move on unless anyone else can guide me in the right direction here. Newly listed, yeah, doesn't appear to. I mean, you can see how many packs. You can see what's been pulled, obviously, but I don't know if there's a straightforward way unless there's some third party. Unless there's a third party, resource somewhere that does a deeper dive into the on-chain data, can tell you exactly what remains. I'm not seeing it though. You probably could. I mean, you can download the checklist, and so like you should be able, and you can see what's been pulled. So you I don't know, maybe vibe code the if you can't find anywhere else, maybe vibe code it. What's been pulled versus what's still out there. But I don't know off the top of my head. Good question. I don't know what I did wrong in that match. People were saying the Magic Eden airdrop was shockingly juicy, massive stimmy, weird class action actually. Mayhem says, yeah, pretty decent. Paid for a vacation. I mean, I had some pretty, solid 6 figures of ETH volume and connected my accounts, and it was like a bad lunch is what my airdrop was. So I did something wrong. Was not a fan. And I think that I don't know if it's that weird as far as class action, because unlike a lot of these teams will drop tokens and it's just like, hey, it's a token. It's governance token, and not say there's any utility or kind of be under promise over deliver in terms of what the use case is and what you might be able to do with the token. While I wasn't buying, there was a lot of like it was a lot of promises or claims and that was this is going to be used for this. There was a lot of promises of utility that ultimately maybe it was live for a little while, but Brickadall's on my side somewhere. It says Emmy drop was so bad he didn't even claim. So I went to images for mental anguish. Yeah, maybe that's where I'll pour on, because I felt overpromised, underdelivered. Now that I've engaged with a couple of those, the timeline, I'm seeing several, and this is I think where what is not necessarily in the headlines and the articles that might be further in the actual suit itself, but a lot of this is funny. Ben, a former Magic Eden employee, accused the team of rug pulling the community yesterday, claiming he has proof and receipts. The tweet went viral. Then some filed a class action lawsuit. The class action was already filed before Ben's tweets, just to be clear. Word broke of it after Ben's statements yesterday. And right after his viral acquisition tweet, he launched a pump fund token. The guy called out a rug, is now trying to rug his own followers. It's pretty funny. I do think that one of the things I've seen here is a lot of employees, contractors coming out and like Ben claiming they have receipts, and that, so alluding that it wasn't just a market failed business, we had to make changes, but rather alluding that some of it was done with intent. One thing we haven't talked about on the show, speaking of done with intent, is Mario the airdrop was a joke for me as well. So I don't know. Some people did really well in the Magic Eden airdrop. Others that people myself and others that did material volume. I think it was ordinals. You're right. Or if you were heavy into ordinals, then I think you got the multipliers or you ended up getting rewarded for your ETH activity. But it was positioned as such that they were going to reward historical activity, and they didn't have like they weren't clear about the criteria that you basically, it was ordinals or bust. Like if you were big in ordinals, you got a big airdrop. If you weren't big in ordinals, it was a bad lunch. Yeah, who knows what comes of it? Probably nothing. Hans, thank you very much for the tip, by the way. I greatly appreciate it. Hans I'll just say this: Hans has tipped me more in abstract. I've gotten more Pingu tips from Hans than I got from the Magic Eden airdrop. So if I ever decide to just start firing lawsuits at followers and community members, Hans will be excluded from that. I kid. It's a joke. I'm not going to take any action against any of you. Not that I would, but I also have no reason to do so. But the one thing we didn't talk about was this Polymarket thing, where allegedly they had a fake site called Polymarket. That's what the journalist called it, because I'm trying to find it. I can't find the original post that I'm looking for. So this, I'm going to, just for the sake of time, I'm going to share the first one I could find, and know that I don't know this person, but this is similar to the same story that I actually saw a full interview on. Sizey says, this is actually insane. Polymarket allegedly paid creators to post fake winning bets filmed on copycat websites, not Polymarket, but Polymarket, Poymaymarket. If you uppercase the I, it looks on a screenshot, it looks just like Polymarket. So it looks like they're on polymarket.com because a capital I on a web browser looks identical to an L. Some of these videos pulled millions of views before people realized the trades weren't even real. The fake version became more famous than the real one. They included some links here, as well as an X search, and Polymarket. The Wall Street Journal did a piece on this. Polymarket paid creators to stage 1.9 million in fake bets, deepening the regulatory woes. So it's not just Neil is a journalist with the Wall Street Journal. So it's not just like crypto Twitter. It's not just some disgruntled former employee. This is the Wall Street Journal did this piece on Polymarket, paying off scores of offshore clippers to quietly promote the international exchange in the US, though it's banned from letting Americans trade on the platform. I forget that, by the way. I just travel internationally a lot, just particularly to Bahamas. This morning I was had a nice visit to Italy, like supersonic speed of light transportation. But yeah, nice trip to Italy to enjoy some of the the Colosseum and some other stuff is why I went. Polymarket made dummy websites mirroring its real site, then paid creators to use a fake site and pretend to win thousands. Creators altered headlines and used outdated footage to imply they won bets even when they often lost. And then they add Polymarket paid Aiden Ross multiple millions to promote the site. I don't know if there's confirmation that Aiden was promoting the fake site, but just, he was part of the creator campaign. They looked like they were getting rich on Polymarket, but none of it was real. Here you can see the Polymarket lowercase took you to Polymarket, or a fake one, indistinguishable when you capitalize the I. Wild if true. Absolutely. This thing got 4 million views, and not that I believe everything in the media, I don't, but it is there's like Wall Street Journal typically doesn't just fire off random stuff based on some rumors on X. Pretty deep investigation here. Catherine Long, who's a reporter at the Journal, Caitlin Ostriff, also a reporter at the Journal, and Brianna Smith, another reporter at the Journal. These are investigative journalists, did a pretty deep story. And while this posted numbers, and got some comments from Ming and Sammy and One, I've never checked out Tweem, but every time I see Franklin now, it's I see him. I guess it's some like betting on what if you could bet on bangers. So he'll put like he tags Tweem and then 450,000 views. So he crushed on that one, assuming you could you pay out if you hit the over. It did 4 million views. Anyways, it's interesting that this, I mean, national media, Wall Street Journal, and yet I haven't seen many of the crypto Twitter personalities talking about this yet, and unless they're in on it. What I'm really surprised is I haven't seen the Kalshi crew talking about it. Like Kalshi and Polymarket, it's pretty cutthroat. Like they do not like each other. At least that's my read. And so I'm surprised we haven't seen Kalshi pour on that. Yeah, CoffeeZilla did a great video about the Polymarket stuff as well. Interesting. I did not know he had a second channel. Explain that to me, Zane. What's the strategy, or why is CoffeeZilla? What's Voidzilla? Why strategically speaking, why the second channel for coffee? I'm genuinely curious. GM Thomas, and then Zane goes on to say the lack of creators posting the Polymarket stuff and not disclosing ads is also no bueno. Thomas says he heard about the Polymarket story last week with how fake their bets have been, with non-crypto people shilling it on other social platforms. Is it that hard to disclose or not disclose these days? I mean, this is worse than not disclosing a paid promo. This is not disclosing a paid promo that's actually fake. Like they're manufacturing, and like while we may think, oh, like people make up P&Ls and post them all the time on crypto Twitter, there's like, this isn't crypto laws and regulations. There's like rule, like some would go as far as call it fraud. Like this is, there's laws and rules. The FTC governs against this sort of stuff. Like you can't pay people to do a marketing campaign. I think by definition, false advertising, that they're claiming they hit these bets, made this money, and not only did they not, but they were provided this fake website to proliferate these fake P&Ls, these fake bets from Polymarket themselves, allegedly. Like there was one of the interviews I heard, I got to think where I heard, because it wasn't CoffeeZilla. Maybe it was CoffeeZilla now that I say that, but I don't think it was the second channel. If for anyone else that's curious, Zane did add his second channel is generally shorter investigation videos or videos focused on hot recent topics. Main channels, more longer form, longer deep dives and investigations he's been working on for months. Interesting. Okay. Makes sense. But yeah, this is, I mean, they probably pay a fine and move on and nothing happens here, but really, like not just a bad look and not just like, oh, I mean, hey, if Nikita really wants to get serious about unpaid disclosures and banning accounts that are doing, things they shouldn't be doing, that's violating Twitter X's terms and conditions, you really want to send a message, suspend all the Polymarket accounts. I'm not taking shots at Polymarket. My love can be bought. I won't post fake P&Ls. I won't use your Polymarket site. But if you want me to, like, you want a gag order, just there's a number for everything. I kid, kind of. There is a number for everything, but I'm not interested in being bought off to not talk about Polymarket. Just like we talk about things we're passionate about, I also will talk about things that are not great. Things like the Magic Eden lawsuit and this Polymarket fake site paid campaigns that undisclosed, like just not great at all. And this is far deeper, far beyond crypto Twitter. You're talking about one of the shining stars of startups right now. I think I saw it is the most successful startup to be based in New York of all time. I'm pretty sure it was either them or it is. Its primary presence in New York City, and I didn't validate it, but you think about all the businesses that have launched or headquartered in New York City to for Polymarket to be the most successful of all of them. I mean, estimated at 15 billion, and apparently recently moved its base to Panama, following scrutiny from American regulators. So maybe no longer based in New York, if that article is true. NPR finds no signs of Polymarket at its Panama HQ address. So basically said, hey, we're moving to Panama to get away from the American regulators, but yet didn't really move. It was just just kidding, fake out. Drew, GM, thoughts on Polymarket, Magic Eden, or anything else we haven't hit on yet today? GM.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, you're saying why isn't Kalshi? I mean, it's because they're all doing it, right? Like, I think if you post on X and you put the sponsored post, the sponsored post just means, hey, like, they're getting paid to do whatever they agreed to do, and I think that's where legal and Fed comes into play. If it's a Polymarket website, which is fake, but I mean, honestly, it's no different from any of the gambling platforms, from any of the casinos, DraftKings, nothing else. They all do it. It's just Polymarket got caught.
But have they got caught? I mean, I guess there's been this expose, this investigative pice from the Wall Street Journal.
They'll just pay a fine. I mean, I guess caught as in, their what do you want to KOLs? What I hate all those words. Were lackadaisical and included the URL, right? And then there's going to be like, that wasn't what we guided them to do. It's always guided, right? This is all recommendations. They pay a fine and everyone moves on. That's also why they have so many political friends. All by design. I say that, and I use Polymarket myself. But
why do you use Polymarket over Kalshi? I'm curious.
I have tried both. I've actually tried 5 different prediction markets. I actually was going to write an article, and I think all of them suck, in my opinion. They all have way too many failed transactions when there's high volume or something crazy happens. They all lag way too much. And no, that's not my internet. Trust me. I think that Polymarket, it was the platform that even when I'm traveling to another country on a VPN, very far away, that it still had success, and that it is true prediction market where it's user versus user, not user versus the platform.
I mean, on that point, I absolutely agree. I prefer the prediction markets over the sports books. Although I will say, for some of my World Cup action, I still have went to Bovada because it's just I get just much better number than sometimes are available on the peer-to-peer prediction markets. So, the right answer is probably like go wherever you can get the best number, go wherever you can get the best odds. And that's you should have, especially if you're just doing this for entertainment and you're throwing, 10, 15, 20 bucks, a weekend, or, occasionally you just, it's pure fun entertainment money, do whatever, play wherever you want to play. If you're putting in, any sort of sizable volume in attempts to earn a profit, you should at least have a few books, if not dozens of books, and make sure you're always getting the best number. That stuff adds up.
The one thing that I don't like about the World Cup, which I guess is the first time they were doing it. Obviously, in the group stages, if you did a win, lose, draw, that carried into extra time, right? Like normal regulation. Now that we are in the elimination, there's obviously overtime, and then like overtime, extra time, and then there's penalty kickouts. And not every single platform offers that if you do a win, lose, draw on the money line, offers an option to go into extra time or into penalty kickouts. It is still normal regulation, which I think the transition from group to single, a lot of people got pretty burned yesterday and the day before on the first games, figuring that out, which I thought was a little shady.
Yep. Hard pivot here, Drew. But I got it. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how dialed in are you to the World Cup? 10 being the highest, like watching every second.
Pretty dialed in.
So the next question is, how deep have you been into like soccer fandom, football fandom, like prior to the World Cup?
I mean, I think it goes in waves. I think there's always something that's exciting.
Do you have a feeling about VAR, the video assisted review?
100%. I think it's the best thing in the world.
So this is where we're going to lean into today. Sorry, Payne. I'd rather talk about VAR and have a heated debate, especially because I see Steve's on the other side of this. He jumped in. I think Steve might be coming for me this morning. So if we talk about VAR and offside penalties too much, we might get a Wild Steve appearance. The debate, the question that everyone must is like when I say other sides of it, we've heard this is ruining the game to where VAR is ruining the World Cup for Doomers. Then Dort follows up. I'm loving it. I believe that ultimately the right teams are winning. I side with Dort here. I think I wish more sports would lean into technology. Doomer said, nope, played the game all the way through my senior year, and it's always been the body. Because I said, by rule, the toe. The question was, your toe is not offsides. I said by rule it is. It's just now that it's getting enforced. Doomer says it's always the body. The rule book, at least per my AI overlords here on Google, did confirm it only takes a single toe or any other playable part of the body, like a head, torso, a leg, to be offsides. You do not need to have your whole body past the defender. Key details to keep in mind: the hands and arms don't count. Again, it's not a playable part of your body. The toe is. The triggers, being in an offside position, isn't a penalty by itself. It's only an infraction if the ball is passed you by a teammate and you become involved in the act of play. Exceptions is you cannot be called offsides if you receive the ball directly from a throw in, a corner kick, or a goal kick. And then it says, are you curious about how VAR calculates the lines? Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about this morning. Steve says it's debatable. The rule is in place if the player is given an advantage. It's why the naked eye matters here. It's obvious. If it's obvious, it makes sense. I would argue the shoulders matters more. Specifically about the Columbia review, the player did not have an advantage. In fact, his body was behind the person, slightly rocked backwards. A toe is absurd in his opinion, especially a sport with the running clock where the game ends roughly when the guy with the whistle decides that. Unpopular opinion here. Unpopular opinion. I used to feel the same way about why the heck don't we know how much time's left? Why leave this up to a referee? We got technology on one side that's going to be dialed in. Like if your cup is offsides, they'll call you offsides. If your toe's offsides, they'll call you offsides. But we just have to guess when the game is actually going to be over. I'm a fan. I enjoy it. I think it adds little. Does it make sense? No, it makes no sense in this world of technology. I think it's part of the fun of the game. Like it adds, at the end of these soccer games, they're so often like we just talked about. I think 3 of the 4 first games of the knockout stage, there's been a goal scored in stoppage time. Like over 90 minutes, there's been a goal scored that either tied or won the game for the team that scored it. And so not only do you have the excitement of like close games, but simply the fact of not knowing exactly when the whistle's going to get blown. I don't know. Like for pure, can it be frustrating? Does it make logical sense? Probably not. I'm sure the purists would probably tell you that's how the game's always been played and we enjoy it. I'm not a purist. I've not been enjoying the game that long. I enjoy it purely from an entertainment perspective. It's because you're not only watching the game, you're watching the game. It's like, okay, there was 5 minutes of stoppage time added. Now it's but there was like an injury or there was a delay during stoppage time. So it's like, okay, it's probably 96, might be 97, might be 95-30, but not knowing exactly when that final whistle is going to get blown. That's just another layer of excitement from the entertainment value. And for anyone else that was curious how bad I was pronouncing Desiree Due, not Doe, Due. Desiree Due. So Joe, then the more important question is who is actually getting the start today? Is Due going to start, or is there a chance it's what's his name? Bradley. I'm drawing a blank already. I think it's going to be Due, but the Bradley Barcoa, is that it? Bradley Barcoa. Do you think Due or Barcola starts today? This is really important. My bags depend on it. Back to the offsides debate though, in the VAR. So the debate is that the rule is bad and that enforcing it at these moments is bad, but it is actually the rule that's my understanding. Like, I believe AI can hallucinate sometimes, but it's pulling this from what I mean, ESPN, Adidas, the FA.com, which one is entitled Law 11 Offsides. I believe credible sources that say a toe is in fact offsides. It's any playable part of the body, head, torso, leg, toe, offsides. Hand, not offsides. Hands and arms don't count, but pretty much every other part of the body is the rule. And so now they are. Is it like? Are you in your right to be frustrated if that's your team and you get called off by an offsides? Yeah, for sure. But I don't take issue with replay enforcing the rules as they are written. Might you come back now and say, hey, this was a stupid rule. We need to be a little more flexible, and maybe a toe's not offside. But like, where you draw that line, I don't know. I mean, at some point you got to draw a line like, this is offsides, this isn't. And what as a relatively new enjoyer of the game, where I appreciate the technology getting it right as the rule was intended. So, and I wish more sports would lean into this. It is also funny seeing us Americans have opinions on. I know I fall into this bucket as well. Have opinions on this game that we've really been like paying it. Like, I've certainly, don't get me wrong, I've watched soccer before. My oldest daughter played competitively for, like a decade of her life, like competitive travel club soccer at a really high level. So I enjoyed the game. When I say high level, not like, obviously not Premier League level, but about as high as level as you could play for a teenager in the US. And really enjoyed the game live, but didn't get into it following it as a sport until, like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. So I know my opinion, it comes with that disclaimer, but I guess there's a question of a male part. Is that considered offsides? Like, by the rule, I guess it would be, because you can play the ball there. It's a playable part of the body. You want to like thrust and hit the ball in, like it'd count. Chief, do you have thoughts on VAR or offsides ruling in general? GM.
Hey, Jim. Yes, both. So huge soccer fan, been following my whole life. But my thing is, do it like hockey. Hockey does it right. It's the entire body. Because realistically, I get the rule and how it's intended with a playable body part. But if a guy's toe is past the defender, I call BS. I don't think that VR is that good to detect that, because even when you look at it from the eye, it doesn't line up. You think it? I just some of them.
I know that it is. They use so. Okay, what can I say here? I've been to a few stadiums and a few things, and they use over 100 cameras. They use thermal, non-thermal. They use it's not LiDAR. What's the other one? Something else, and then all that actually does 3D rendering, like instantaneously, which is why they can show that 3D rendering on the screens like 4 or 5 minutes afterwards, like live. Like, that shit is 100% accurate. 100% accurate.
Is it 100% accurate to not only, hey, they're past this line, but to be precise when the ball is kicked? You feel it's like 100% accurate on both parts. Not only are they across this line, but when they're across the line, was it the exact moment the ball was kicked? You feel it's 100% accurate.
So the balls have a chip inside of them. So all of that data is all correlated together instantaneously in the moment to actually analyze that and detect it in real time. And that's how, if any of the assistant, like onside or offside referees, like looking at that, if they miss it, they have a watch on their hand that vibrates. And then that's where they can actually call it on the field too. And all of that is done instantaneously and automatically. And then you have the team actually reviewing it in the room upstairs.
Yeah, because I've seen the soccer balls and what they look like now, and that's why I think there was another issue with them saying that the way they're moving is a little bit different because of how, I guess, technology's inside the ball.
It's like a chip smaller than a watch. I wouldn't say it's going to alter anything.
Yeah, they were just saying the way it was designed, it's just a little bit different. But So maybe I'm wrong on the VAR thing. I just still personally believe, and I've always believed this, is an offside should be the entire body, not a playable, because I don't, if you have that much of an advantage, the point of offsides is not to hang behind the defenders. And I just don't, I love how hockey does it because you see the guy toe dragging behind to make sure he's not going to cross the line. I think they should implement that in soccer. I think that's the biggest thing because VAR and technology in sports is awesome because it's calling the game correctly and it's not really hindering the game. It's not taking that long. They're doing really well with it. But my biggest issue, I think, is just it's got to be the entire body and not a toe or a shoulder or anything like
It's
that.
tough though because a toe or anything. I mean, think about offsides where it's near the goal. I mean, all you need is one touch in front of the defender, and that's it. Your body could be onsides, but if your toe or like anything, and it's also forward momentum too. I mean, dude, if I have a leg in front of you and we're both running full speed and we're both at the same speed and I have a leg in front of you, I'm going to get to that ball first.
No, and I get that, but it's the same thing in hockey. Like
yeah, but the hockey is like what? I don't know how many hockey arenas is the length of like a soccer field, or it's just I think it's like different from a momentum perspective on top of legs versus skates.
If anyone missed it, this is what we're talking about. The Columbia player, his literal toe was offsides. Like he scores a goal after this. So if his toe is back 2 inches, I guess part of it's like the players know this as well. So it's like, is it worth, and I think this was coming off a set piece, is it worth like playing that close to the line, right? It's like, you could say, oh, defensive lineman was offsides by his fingers. Did that give him an advantage? Maybe in a game of inches, like maybe it does. Probably not, but it's the rule. You got to have a line of, you got to have some sort of a line in the sand. In this case, it's any playable body part. And also, I had seen this next image before, but I did not know his name was Lukaku until today. So Lukaku had his either large male appendage or a cup had crossed the VAR line and had a goal disallowed as well. Like if you were wondering where today's proof of simulation is, it's the guy who got called this penalty. His name is Lukaku. Today in FIFA coverage, I learned that Lukaku was the one whose male parts were offsides. We could debate, is it a good rule? Is it a bad rule? Does it give a player an advantage? That probably doesn't give a player an advantage. He's probably not attempting to score with that sort of a header, but rules are rules. And for Maria, who just came in with a late GM, I apologize. That's what you came into the show for. I promise we actually did talk about serious stuff like Magic Eden lawsuit and Polymarket expose for a minute, but the VAR, I think it's the War Room wins again. VAR conversation was co-produced by the War Room this morning, and probably the least heated debate that all, even opposing sides, all got a kick out of this morning.
One thing too, though, that I don't think anyone has brought up, which I'm kind of surprised, is obviously the World Cup is the top tippity, in my opinion, tier of like, the world coming together and watching football. The other thing about VAR is a non-political, non-biased piece of technology where I know FIFA and the World Cup try their hardest to place refs on the field that have no siding whatsoever. But that is also a major, major, major part of technology and VAR in tennis, in football, in pickleball, in every single sports that they're implementing. And I will bet my life savings that in, let's say 20, 30 years, there are no on-field referees.
I can see this happening. I think the chip in the ball, I think this stuff is really cool. Like we have the technology to do this stuff. Like they know exactly how fast players are running, miles per hour. Like it's just like some of the advanced analytics, the data. And I know some of that just takes away from the purity of the game. I don't think so. It doesn't. It's like people who argued, we should have an umpire calling balls and strikes. Why? Like the reason we always had an umpire calling balls and strikes is because this technology didn't exist. Like you had to have a human making errors because we didn't have a better solution. Now we have real like technological solutions that simply are, they're just more accurate. They think better. They process data faster. They, it's just like in real time. It doesn't do, I understand. I think a lot of people became like anti-instant replay and anti-technology because it was really negatively impacting the game at one point. Like they would do a replay and it'd be like a 5-minute delay in the game while they tried to figure it out, and it would halt momentum. And I get people not wanting to extend games and it crushing momentum and having an actual impact on the flow of the game. I just think the technology in most cases, what I've seen so far is it doesn't really delay the game. It doesn't negatively impact the game. And I actually think how FIFA, and I assume this is all soccer, handles this the same way. Maybe not. Is VAR employed in the Premier League and La Liga and stuff? I don't know. It's a real question. But I think how I've seen them handle it at the World Cup is, to Drew's point, it's not just the on-field, referee who has to make that call. They've got a team of people, not in New York, I don't think anyways. I think at each game, watching monitors and notifying them in real time to where they aren't having to stop the game and delay things for the ref to go over and look under a hood. Like that was silly. Like that's silly. Like you don't need it maybe if it's we need to call you in on this, which is just too tight of a call. But I think it's better to have the third party, have someone who didn't make the call be the one who says, yes, this is correct, or this needs changed. But I also jinxed the war room conversation because I said both sides of the conversation were enjoying it, and we crossed that VAR line and got not everyone enjoyed that conversation. I'll just leave it at that. We got a pro that slid in pickleball in here with a we got a one of the most popular sport in the world. We got a random pickleball slid in there. Why don't we have Dort shorts? This is also today. I'm just hearing this for the first time, but I'm disappointed that we don't have Dort shorts at this point. Like that's and if anyone else is not singing "We Wear Dort Shorts" in your head, like you were born in a different generation than I was.
I'd rock Dort shorts as they are reviewing VAR in the World Cup.
Same. We're all over the place this morning, but I feel like the Lukaku offsides gives us some. It turns it into a Tuesday variety show. I do have a couple other topics I need to hit on before we get you out of here completely. But I'm curious. I know we got a few days, but should I be making plans? Like I'm not like big into fireworks. I haven't done, actually, unironically, fireworks, 4th of July fireworks were a much bigger deal when I was in Columbus, Ohio, of all places. Like they did Red, White, and Boom, which is a pretty big, usually July 3rd, but pretty big event in Columbus. And it was a fun downtown over the river. Now I can see fireworks over the ocean. And I don't know if I've been to a single fireworks when since I've been in Florida. I'm really thrown for a loop by the Dort shorts. You all, the war room takes blame for all this morning. But yes, who wears Dort shorts? We wear Dort shorts. They're such Dort shorts. We like Dort shorts. Who wears Dort shorts? We wear Dort shorts. You're welcome. 4th of July. Should I attend with it being like the 250th anniversary? Like I'm guessing they'll go a little harder this year. This just hit the feed. Miami's having FIFA Fan Fest on Biscayne Boulevard. Biscayne Boulevard will be closed to handle the larger crowd. You got Ja Rule, Ashanti, Shaggy, The Fray. Man, this is straight out of the 90s, early 2000s. But is there anything like, probably if I'm going to do a 4th of July, this is probably the year to do it. I'm guessing like there's probably something on like St. Pete Pier. probably something like downtown Sarasota as well. But I may going to a Rays game next Monday. I may make the venture up to St. Pete for 4th of July as well, to be determined. But yeah, if there's anything on your radar for the 4th, let me know. Last World Cup take. If you missed it, this is what I was alluding to earlier. This is this is outside where players can tell. In the middle of the night. They like bands blaring music all night outside the players' hotel. And it's in Mexico City, so it's like, like the cops are just, hey, do your thing. We're turning our head to this. Keep the Ecuadorians up. So my parlay today was the favorites. Easy for me to take France and Norway. My guy Holland and Mbappe, and then the Mexico-Ecuador game is probably going to be a close one. The closest game, at least as far as spreads are today, it should be the closest. Not a clear favorite. But to me, I don't know how Mexico's not a clear favorite. They played pretty well in the group stage, but like real home field advantage here. Actually, Ecuador is probably, I think Ecuador is at elevation as well. Like, it's the other thing. One of the things that Mexico has an edge in Mexico City is they play at elevation. It's almost like going to Coors Field, or Mile High Stadium. Opposing teams struggle with the lack of oxygen. Same thing in Mexico, but Ecuador, I think, is probably also at they will be one of the few teams in the knockout stage actually accustomed to that, playing at that altitude. But you got to imagine that the crowd will be mostly Mexican fans, and especially after keeping them up all night with the music outside the hotel. I'm shoving chips in on Mexico today. Cool Chick adds, totally worth watching the fireworks in Florida. Melbourne, Satellite Beach, Cocoa Beach put on great shows. I'm guessing probably the same on the golf side. I haven't been, and I need to start prepping Duke for Dort shorts have already been shipped. They're ready to go. Dort's accepting pre-orders now for the Dort shorts. I said last thing on soccer, I enjoy the penalty kicks. Not everyone is. Some, actually, my girlfriend's like, that's unfair. Like, it's not a good way to end. Germany, by the way, scored a second goal that got turned over, not because of offsides, but because there was a goalie interference. I don't know if that's what they actually call it, but the Germany guy, it basically interfered with Paraguay's goalie, and after scoring it, they overturned it. They said it wasn't a goal, and then Germany were going to lose in PKs. New York Times article this morning: penalty shootouts are brutal. Is there a better way to settle ties? A fairer way? A more fitting test of skills? We ask our writers and what they think the World Cup can steal from other sports. Prass says there is a better way. Play the penalty shootout straight after 90 minutes. The winner of the shootout gets a 0.5 goal lead going into 30 minutes of extra time. Now the team that lost by penalties has a chance to win. And crucially, no matter the score, there is one team that has to go for it at all times, making extra fun time too. That's interesting. I'm not sure I agree with that, but saying do the PKs first and then still play the 30 minutes of extra time, and the team who loses on PKs has to would have to basically they're losing unless they score. It's Athletic article. Drew, I saw the thumbs down. Not a fan of. I like PKs. Or yes, no, good, different, indifferent. Oh, we lost Drew. We will. I saw the thumbs down, so I think he was thumbing down. I think the take on what the suggestion was. Thomas said, get rid of offsides and really open up the game. I don't think they should get rid of it, but more love for Dort shorts. If you were curious if there's product market fit there, it is a smashing hit. I'm debating timing of other topics to get into this morning. I do have a couple of things I want to hit on, but before, I saw Drew back up and Bagel joined us on stage. So before I move on, Drew, any thoughts on, I guess, PKs? Like, do you think penalty kicks are? I enjoy it as a way to settle these ties, but obviously Germany fans down bad this morning. Netherlands fans down bad this morning. Teacher Katie got to attend the game yesterday. That's awesome. Congrats on that. Love to see it. But yeah, Drew, thoughts on PKs?
I think PKs, I was actually listening to Barstool this morning too. PKs should be the way that all tough discussions are solved. I think they're the best thing in the world. And I miss the old PKs where they used to start from half field, kind of like how they do it in hockey, right? And they kind of dribble up and then shoot instead of being stationary. Because honestly, it's just a luck and guessing game unless they whiff it. But
when did they make that change?
People don't like VAR until they need VAR for their team to win.
When did they make the change, go from half field to stationary?
Damn, when did they make that? Was that?
I kind of like it. I think I'm going to side with you on this one. Makes it less lucky. I think that's probably the people who push back. It's like, oh, it's like you're just guessing, but it's not. Like, if you watch it was more so the Morocco Netherlands PKs. It was wild, man. Like, I think 3 of the shots hit a post. One of the shots, the Netherlands goalie stopped it, like saved it.
1999.
Yeah, we're old.
Holy fuck!
It was it was MLS officially abolished. It was an American-style 35-yard shootout, often referred to as the breakaway or half-field penalty, and adopted the standard FIFA penalty kicks in '99. So it was an Americanized rule. I kind of like the Americanized rule. Don't hate me, the purist
like
out there. But yeah,
it was cool to watch the highlights and everything.
Yeah, and you much more of a like decision on, hey, does the goalie come out? Do they just? Whereas now it's like, do they go left or right? Does he pause? Does he try to fake the goalie out? The keeper, rather. I'll work on my proper vernacular here. Yeah, congratulations to Circles, grand ribbon opening and grand opening today. That's awesome. Love to see it. Mayhem says Mayhem, a hockey fan, says hockey penalty shots are the worst. So hard disagreeing with us there. But yeah, I kind of like the idea of dribbling it from half field. But yeah, the Morocco Netherlands penalty kicks you thought Germany's was wild. The Morocco Netherlands PKs were crazy. Bunch of misses. One of them was Netherlands goalie stopped it, like dove, stopped it, gets the save. The ball like squeaks out underneath his back, and as he like looks over, he accidentally kicks it with his foot and rolls the ball and just barely rolls it across the line. Like oof, down super bad. Chief, go ahead and get back in here.
Hey, one thing I think I heard it, and then I was actually thinking about it when you brought it up. I think what they should do is, it's going to change the game drastically. But one thing I don't like about the overtime into PKs is no one really goes for it in overtime because they're trying to just play for the PKs. They don't want to make the mistake and have the counterattack and lose. So I think I saw it on even on X. They should do the penalty kicks first. Whoever wins the penalty kicks, you get like half a point, right?
Yeah, I read this.
So it doesn't have like a major effect, but you have that point where they have to play the overtime to do that. I was like, that's actually a really good, it would cause much more like action and not as, because I do love the PKs and how it solves it, but it does suck that you play so well on both sides to tie a game and it does come down to essentially 5 shots. Like I do get that point, but you have to end it at some point. But I thought that was more of a, I guess, fair way to do it and not lose in PKs. You still got the opportunity to to win or.
Yeah, but football isn't about being fair. I mean, you got 120 minutes to score, and if you can't score, then that's the last ditch effort. I mean, I think a lot of too is like a lot of Americans compared to American sports. We're outside of it. You know, PKs isn't a thing. You play until you win. Even in some leagues, I mean, there's no draws. Like, you just play.
Yeah, I like the PKs. I understand if your team loses on penalty kicks, but I would say, hey, don't slow play. It's not called overtime. Extra time, is that the proper way to proper word? Extra time. Don't like slow play it. Like, don't just play. Pass the ball around and wait to play. Like, especially like Germany should have had foot on the gas because to your point, anything can happen in PKs. Like, I just think if you're a superior team, you shouldn't let it get there. Like, it's maybe they could extend it more than 30 minutes, but I mean, at that point, you're already playing 120 minutes, two full hours, and yeah, I enjoy it. I think it adds for electric finishes, and I'll double down on my earlier take, and then we'll go to Bagel. I think FIFA got it right, and now it does look like, or seeing rumors that next World Cup or in future World Cups they expanded the field to 64 teams and expanded even further. This year's the first was having 32 in the knockout stage. Historically, there's just been 32 total and only 16 in the knockout stage. But maybe France blows out Sweden today, or I think these games are. I know it's only 4, and maybe it was crazy one-offs, but I think it goes to show that like there's 32 teams in the world that could compete, could on any given day could beat any other team. I know we haven't seen France, we haven't seen Spain, but Brazil almost got beat. Germany did get beat. I also saw the Netherlands. I think their last 4 World Cups, they've been knocked out on PKs. Like, just brutal way to keep getting bad beats there. Bagel, thoughts on all this? GM.
Yeah, definitely. GM. Lots of creative takes here, to say the least. First of all, I want to say that eliminating offsides would be a terrible idea, because what would happen is the game would just turn into a volleyball match where midfield does not get played, because if you remove offsides, obviously attackers are gonna want to cherry pick inherently, and defenders are gonna adjust and they're gonna play farther back because of it. So it would actively eliminate much of the midfield gameplay happening even at a highest level. You can't eliminate offsides by any means. It just can't happen. I understand that it's frustrating when it happens in a matter of inches. It sucks. I've been there. I played soccer my whole life, so believe me, I've been there. When I was younger, before I got older and taller, I played. I was an attacker, and I was always an excellent runner. I was very fast. But I was getting called for offsides very, very often. And what teams do is they set what is called an offsides trap, which is basically where in moments they sort of adjust on defense and they move up to kind of trick an attacker into overstepping and kind of pulling himself offsides. So offsides is always going to be a thing. It makes sense. It's just what it is. And then, I think that the take with doing the penalty kicks first for the extra point, yeah, again, very, very creative. I don't really see it being viable. It's not the worst idea I've ever heard. But I definitely agree here with the sentiment that it's amazing. It's so cool. Me personally, I actually like it a little bit better than that format of the breakaway format. Although I will say that the breakaway format that ended in the late 90s is more true to, if you really care about it, it's more true to, I guess overall being good at the game, right? Because moving with the ball and shooting it when it's moving, when the ball is moving and while you're moving, it's a little bit more challenging in certain ways. So I kind of think that that's cool. But I like it as is. There's just so much pressure that boils over into these PK shootouts, and it's a crazy thing. And I've been there so many times. Like, I've been in numerous PK shootouts, won some, lost some. I've made game-winning kicks. I've missed shots that have lost my team tournaments before in PKs. It's so much pressure But I do like the current format for the sake of like the viewership experience. Like it's just a lot of pressure. And it's so good for the game. And I was so happy to see two PK shootouts yesterday like that. Like my goodness, and they were both so different too. Like you had Netherlands and Morocco kind of like missing and hitting the post a whole bunch, and it was just it really was a matter of inches in every way. And that goalie, by the way, he's going to remember that for the rest of his life, accidentally kicking that in the back of his net. Like I do feel for the guy, because you never forget those moments. Like the PK that I missed, that lost my team a tournament when I was younger. I've never forgotten about that. It still haunts me to this day, even though I don't play. But it's so much pressure, and it makes it excellent from a viewership standpoint.
So imagine, no disrespect to your high school or
or
career, but imagine that, like feeling like that, still being a core memory. Think about it to this day. Now imagine missing one, like the sixth shot, the sixth penalty in the World Cup to get your team knocked out. I just saw this as you were talking. Apparently, because there's 5 penalties. If it's tied after 5, then they go to like sudden death, and then they're alternating. So at 3-3 in the penalty shootout, after there was difficulties finding the sixth taker. Leon Goretzka, Anton, and Brown, as well as Thal, hesitated and dodged the challenge due to immense pressure. Then Jonathan Tah, who had never taken a penalty in his career, stepped up and missed it. Like, wow. Kimmich, who's the Germany captain, apparently asked Goretzka twice whether he wanted to take the sixth penalty and later refused. Jonathan Tah stepped up after that. Like, that's wild. I'm not taking shots at Goretzka or anywhere. It would be an immense amount of pressure, but it's wild to me that this isn't already contemplated. Like going into it, it's the freaking World Cup. Like Germany doesn't have, hey, here's our first 5 penalty takers. Here is the next, and I know like it's who was on the field last, so maybe you got to have a couple of alternate lines. But it's wild to me that in such a heated moment like that, you're putting these players on the spot, and one of them has to decide, yeah, I'll take it. I'll step up. This is the freaking World Cup. It's wild to me that they didn't already have this already decided.
Well, these guys want to do it. They want to win for their country, and at the end of the day, they're doing much the same of what they've always done, which is kick the ball and hope that they find the back of the net. So that's why guys who have never shot PKs before are willing to do it, and they're trusted to do it as well. Because in essence, it's a simple thing, but it's so mental. It becomes almost like baseball in that sense, right? Where it's all between the ears at that point. So that's kind of why so much confidence is placed in people who have never even shot a PK. And the PK that I missed, it was to tie. It was the last kick. It was number 5, and it was to tie it 4-4 and send it into sudden death, where we might have had a chance, right? But I ended up just clearing the net wide. Like much like how Netherlands was missing some of their kicks to the left. I'm a righty. That is exactly what happened to me. I tried going upstairs, which I knew I shouldn't have done. I was never that good. I used to just blow the ball straight over the net. So, but I was very confident. I tried going upstairs, and I missed the post left. And oh, dude, I'll never forget it, man. But I redeemed myself a few years later. I didn't even higher club level. Like at the highest club level that I played at, I ended up kicking a sudden death game winner, which won a much bigger tournament than the one that I missed. So I redeemed myself. I felt great about that. But again, you never forget those moments. It's so much pressure. It's all between the ears, and these guys make it look easy. It is not. And these goalies make it look easy too. And this is a great thought bubble. And I'll make it like an open-ended question, but because I was talking to some of my friends about it yesterday, like in these PK shootouts, like who is dealing with more pressure? Is it the goalies or is it the kickers, right? And it's a great question. I mean, me personally, I do think it's the goalies. But like it's just a great open-ended discussion because there's just so much pressure on both sides to do the right thing. And because you got to think the goalies, it's a lot of it is guesswork and prediction based on where the kicker might be looking or where their body's leaning towards. I mean, there's so many variables at play when it comes down to it. And I think the pressures that the goalies deal with is just crazy. And it's funny because before Paraguay went into their PK shootout yesterday, I don't know, like it was kind of like some guesswork. But I don't know, like I figured, like I knew that goalie was locked in. He's a big dude, and I was like, this dude is locked in. He's a real demon. Like I just saw the look on his face, like this dude is gonna make a couple like huge saves. And they're gonna get this done, I think. Then I guessed wrong in Morocco. I thought that they were maybe going to lose that PK shootout, but it was so great to see those two teams win like that. I mean, it really becomes a war of attrition. And I must say overall that this, that the FIFA World Cup in general, I mean, people who've watched it year after year know this, but like, getting to see it on our own turf here in, kind of North America and everything, I think it's a great opportunity for Americans to realize how abysmal our native sports are kind of doing. I mean, I brought it up in the Board 8 sports chat yesterday. I compared it to the NBA Finals, and somebody was like, "Well, you can't compare the two." I was like, "You're right, you can't. FIFA is always much bigger. It's always much more like crucial, more at stake, more serious, blah blah blah." But the only reason why I compared it is because they, obviously FIFA falling on this year, they went back to back. So, and we just watched an NBA Finals that I was plugged into, being a Knicks fan, and even as a Knicks fan, like I was very open about like this puts this puts the NBA playoffs in its current product to filthy shame. And it should be a real eye opener. And the amount of physicality that these players at the highest level are, kind of have to play through is just, it's crazy, and it becomes clear why there's so much like acting and guys selling calls and whatnot. I mean, culturally, refs will blow the whistle late and it's more acceptable. Whereas in like the NBA, like, you got to blow the whistle immediately. And if it's blown late, it's kind of obvious that shit's like getting rigged. But they do play through like so much contact. And a lot of the hits that people take like around their ankles, like they don't look like they hurt, but I speak from experience. They most definitely do. And it sucks. And you can play a whole 90 minutes getting the crap kicked out of you. So of course, every now and then, they're going to try to sell some calls. It's just a part of the game, really. And it is bothersome to some extent, right? But it is what it is. And it's just, wow. I mean, it's really just like gladiator type shit out there, to be honest. And I'm super pumped for Ivory Coast and Norway today. I think that is going to be another classic.
I agree. I am excited to see my guy Holland score a brace today. Diablito wins the chat. He says there are chips in the soccer balls with his perfect AI tie-in here with his kid called Beast dipping a chip into the soccer ball. Well played, sir. Dad jokes all day. Go give Diablito a follow. Also in the chat, Bagel, people must know, what pre-workout are you on this morning?
No pre-workout. I wake up very early for work, so I've already been awake for a few hours now. But no, just coffee, just one coffee per day for me. And today is the Chick-fil-A iced coffee. So, but I've heard that many times.
Coffee and a passion for football. I love it.
That's right. Yep.
It is going to be a fun day today. I'm excited to. I think they all should be pretty solid games. I know France is expected to win by quite a bit, but it'll be fun to. I mean, man, if France goes to PKs, look out! I did see Paraguay. The president of Paraguay named today a national holiday, and everyone can take off work for a paid day off to celebrate their big win over Germany. So, GGs, and may the good run continue today. I'm sure that probably broke. I don't think anyone in the Coffee with Captain bracket challenge had Paraguay winning. So hopefully you didn't have Germany going all the way. We got another tease, not even a tease. I think now because of the clues, it's like is every the people are questioning every post. This just says members, and smoking some, I don't know. Like, I think it is probably just a social post. I don't think there's any clues in this one, but people are speculating now that we got clues every day for a while there. I think we might get a I think we might find out this Thursday. If not this week, I think next week for sure. But yeah, I'm trying to get my thoughts back together to land the plane today, but yeah, Diablito is bringing. He's really leaning into the dad jokes after I gave him the cover there. He says, "I'm owl about doxing myself." Like, I think this is actually a real picture of Diablito with the undoxed Diablito. In a barn with a real owl. I'm pretty sure that is a real barn owl. I do not believe it's AI generated, but from Eagles to Owls, Diablito is single-handedly making me FOMO into selling everything. And well, I like to say an island. I'd even settle for like, I don't know, 100 acres. And actually, I wouldn't in the middle of Florida. I would, private island somewhere is with a bunch of land, some eagles, some owls, some horses, and a dog ranch. Sign me up. Yeah, Saucy, the FIFA fever is real. I'm down bad because I didn't reach out to predict AP. What is the Katie? Who did you win the ADI predict streak? Is they've been sending a lot of people to the World Cup. I believe, maybe I'm wrong, but I believe Katie got hooked up with some tickets yesterday. They reached out and said, hey, if you're in these 3 cities, let us know. We've got some tickets. They've been sending a lot of crypto Twitter to the World Cup, some for like being on their leaderboard, others for, just I guess just like commenting or whatever. Anyways, I'm down bad because I actually went to go create an account. I got busy, got distracted, did something else. I should have. I claimed my card, but I did it on mobile, and so I should have done it on a desktop. And then I realized I should have fired some volume before I claimed my card, because I got basically like no. I got credit for my X following, but I didn't get credit because I hadn't fired any no shots at all on the platform. I hadn't used the platform. So I'll show you if you're curious. I mean, it's basically, this is my predict streak card. It gives you points for your following, your P&L, your ADI. Basically, are you using ADI to predict streak? I had not, but maybe I can regenerate it after I load up some volume and take some shots. I haven't done anything on the platform, but it's pretty cool to see a crypto native prediction market, sponsoring like every game. If you watch any of the games, like you see them in the LCDs that go around the pitch. You see, I caught myself there. I almost said field. They are, they're promoting heavily, and pretty cool to see crypto native with such good placement at such a major event. And I'm imagining it's driving some volume and some attention to their platform. I saw Katie jumped up. Katie, is my assumption correct? Did you win or get gifted tickets from Predict Street and anything else? I mean, awesome. Congratulations on getting to the game, regardless how you got there. But is my assumption correct? Was it a tie-in to ADI Predict Street? And if so, anything else you'd like to share about them or their platform? GM.
It was. I got tagged by a fellow Penguin, and I messaged him. I messaged the ADI Predict Street guys, and I'm in Boston. And he said, I'm going to send you 2 tickets. It was totally worth it.
It's awesome.
Because I had friends who were at the game who paid $600 a ticket. They put us in the VIP section. So we sat, it wasn't a box. It was just like an area that was up at the top. It was free food. It was amazing. And like, I've never been to a game like that before. It was great to like have participated in the, say I've been to the World Cup game. The energy in the stadium is absolutely, you can't even tell on TV. It was electric in there, and the fan base was crazy. It was a total game worth watching.
I love it. Well, congrats. And I'm happy for you. I'm not envious at all. I'm very happy for you. I am FOMOing a World Cup game. I knew it was coming to the States this year, obviously. I looked at tickets and I saw they were so expensive. And so I just kind of like removed the desire completely out of my brain. Like, okay, I'm not going to the World Cup this year, and no big deal. This was before I started getting so into it, and I'm watching every game that takes place before Demon Hours, aka 9 p.m. Eastern. And now it's like, okay, I've been to a Super Bowl, I've been to a World Series, I've been to a NBA Finals. This is like, as far as sporting events go, going to a World Cup game is now at the very top of the bucket list of experiences. And while probably not going to make it this year, it will give me a good excuse to. I think the next World Cup I want to say is in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. So that would be a fun one to to take a little, little 3-4 week vacation and enjoy that part of the world and catch a World Cup game or two. But love to see it, and I can't imagine like what things are like 4 years from now, considering like prediction markets weren't even really a thing. I mean, I guess they were, but they weren't as far as sports. I think like Polymarket probably existed, but it was mostly just like political stuff, political markets back in the 2022. Yeah. Quick update on. I know I'm jumping around, but I probably spent way too much time talking about football this morning, and going to have to deal with pain after the show for the extended cold open. But I did see there is 3,800 bids on Jack Butcher's Economy of Words from 859 collectors with 11 hours to go. Curious if anyone here participated, anyone put any bids. I'm probably just taking a pass on this one. Quite frankly, I didn't get it when I looked at it, I read a couple things, and it didn't click for me. It's a me thing. It's not a Jack thing. I just didn't get it. So taking a pass on that one. We do have first look at the 30th anniversary Pokemon. This is the Umbreon and Espeon Ultra Premium collections coming soon. Ultra Premium. I don't know what that means, but I have a feeling if Scalper's gonna have a field day with this one. I have a feeling that the 30th anniversary pack sets, even if I'm guessing they'll have it done well, where there'll be a good Umbreon. Reminds me of like Umbros, like the soccer shorts. Do they still wear Umbros? Just artistic game to collectibles from Jack. Have bad experience in terms of losing money with his stuff, so ignore it. Yeah, I've never I have a few of like his things. I've thrown like $1 at here and there, but I don't think I've ever made a dime off of any of them. I've not thrown much money at anything, but I like that he experiments on chain and does different stuff. Some of it's cool, but some I just don't get, and I'm not going to speculate on something I just don't get, and doesn't really do much for me. Yeah. So let's do this. If there's anything that we didn't get into today, the high level, like the daily brief stuff, I guess we could do a market update, but it's kind of more of the same today. We will look at it. Actually, Ape's up 4 or 5% on a red day. That's not nothing. It's like Hyperliquid and Ape are up today. Everything else is pretty red. Not tremendously, but Bitcoin down 1.60%, down to 58. So we lost 60K. ETH still 1556. BNB down slightly. XRP down 1%. Solana down 1%. Oh, remind me about World. World looks like, speaking of prediction markets, it looks like Solana is launching their own prediction market, like a flagship DApp, going to be a prediction market. At least that's what the terms and conditions are leading us to believe. That World that they said they're launching at Breakpoint, it looks like it might be live already, just not public facing. It's like, it appears to be like the rails behind Phantom's prediction market. If you have the Phantom app, there's prediction market there, and the Phantom's terms and conditions say it's powered by World. So I think that World.xyz, the domain that, the domain that Solana just purchased, I believe is going to be their prediction market. More on that soon. We get more details or more anything confirmed there, but it looks like that's the on-chain sleuths look to have called that one out. Looking at NFTs, red pretty much across the board. Normies up 10%, non-playable character up 17%, reorder up 5%. The 10,000 tokens got a big pump, up 124%. I'm guessing that has something to do. I saw Adam, the founder there, is doing another project, so I'm guessing there's probably some tie-in with that. Moonbird's up 2%, and everything else down pretty bad. It's a red day on the tokens, red day on the NFT front. Punk's down 3%. I mean, not down bad. Apes are down 0.3%. Punk's down 3%. Mutants down 3%. Little Pudgy's down 3.6%. Like, it's just slight sell-off today, but that stuff adds up after too many sell-off days in a row. Yeah, I saw, must have missed it earlier. I did see that I actually shared that post from Manny about the former Magic Eden employee makes a viral accusation against Magic Eden, and then before actually sharing the receipts, decides to launch a meme coin on Pump Fund. Go figure. Yeah. Let's do this again. Markets are not great. Other, like, I guess, headlines. The UK is leaning into, they finalized their crypto rulebook yesterday. It handed the industry a win, apparently. It cut stablecoin capital buffer from 2% to 1% of issued value after industry pullback, explicitly to help UK firms compete internationally. This is, I don't know. Does it? I know stablecoins and regulations not the most exciting thing, but it is a thing. And we have tomorrow, July 1st, apparently, well, we've got June employment numbers, manufacturing index, and Fed Chair Warsh speaking. I saw some rumors that he was going to start the money printer this week, but I don't, that's just speculation at this point. Thursday, then we get non-farm payrolls and unemployment. And then on top of that, there's a bunch of token unlocks this week as well. So, yeah, what does it mean? I don't know. Numbers are going to go up, numbers are going to go down, or they're going to chop, one of the three, but doesn't feel like anything, doesn't feel like any real catalyst in the short term on as far as price action goes. Now, where I think we are seeing is things like sectors heating up. We've been talking collectibles, and I may, if I have time here at the end of the show, I might rip the last 2 Pokemon packs. But between, there's so much talk of, RWAs on that sense, on the Pokemon, the One Piece side. I still think very few are talking about the digital collectibles, Panini in particular, when the physical versions are continuing to pop off. We shared, yesterday, record auction happening for LeBron card, Michael Jordan rookie card sold at a 5-year high. And I think that stuff continues to be exciting. And then, this, we talked about the Tokenize This, the conference in New York last week. Heading into July, the DT, actually, you know what? Let's do this. This is a perfect keeping it real segment. So this, let's keep it real. We'll talk some RWAs for a minute here, and if there's anything else that we didn't get to today, let me know in the chat, or feel free to come up on stage and join us. But without further ado, today's episode of Keeping It Real, brought to you by Doma.
Buying domains was low, Doma changing the game. One bridge, one standard, now the systems move the same. Registrar, stay central, keep the trust and control. DNS and compliance, still they play the key role. Traded on chain, let new markets arise. Domain value unlocked. Welcome to DomainFi.
Welcome to Keeping It Real, powered by Doma. Doma is tokenizing the internet's $360 billion domain market. So now you can trade, fractionalize, and earn on names that used to just sit there. DomainFi is live now at doma.xyz. You can also scan that QR code in the top of the corner of the screen. It'll also take you to doma.xyz. I mentioned, the DTCC, which is the clearinghouse that settles essentially all U.S. securities, is about to begin live production testing of tokenized stocks, ETFs, and U.S. Treasuries starting in July, just days from now. The pilot will bring Russell 1000 equities, major ETFs, and treasuries on-chain for the first time through DTCC's Composer X platform, with more than 50 firms participating, including BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Circle, Ondo Finance, and Ripple Prime. Limited production trades start in July. A full service launch is slated for October under a 3-year SEC no action letter granted to DTC in December of 25. This lands in a market that's exploding. Tokenized RWAs, excluding stablecoins, is now roughly at $26.7 billion of transferable value. Tokenized treasuries alone are over half that at $14.8 billion, yielding 3.35%. And just last week, Ondo launched 24/7 minting and redemption for tokenized US stocks and ETFs, weekends included. This isn't some crypto native startup. This is the backbone of TradFi going on chain. DTCC tokenizing the Russell 1000. It makes every RWA narrative coin suddenly look legit. These tokenized treasuries paying 3.35% with daily redemption. Why would you park stablecoin year there over a DeFi pool, or and guess now why park it there over X money where you can get 6%? We may think that as individuals, but the reality is a lot of individuals, at least in the US, are still paying, they still have their savings in a 0% yield checking account, or they're earning 1% in savings. This is, and institutions also are not going to be migrating their funds over to X money. So this is maybe there's some skeptics here, but this is one more big step in the institutions aren't coming, they're here. And now they're launching like real, in this case, part of the backbone of TradFi, launching it on chain. While it's going to start kind of a limited launch, it just really seems like the train has left the station, and we're going to see more and more and more of this. And I think this is also part of why there's some conversation yesterday, and like, man, we're only the drawdown's only like 52% this cycle compared to past cycles. The Bitcoin drawdown was significantly more, like a much bigger dip, much bigger crash in the bear market than what we've seen this cycle. But it feels like sentiment feels much worse. And I think part of that is it feels much worse because many people, myself included, thought that this institutional demand, that the institutional buyers, that not just institutions and funds, but also having the ETFs now and having more quote unquote normies, allocating a percentage of their portfolio to crypto, to the Bitcoin or the ETF or both. Like I felt it would like offset the drawdown. I'm not saying completely eliminate the 4-year cycle, but thought that that consistent buy pressure would offset this severe drawdowns. Like in my head, like, oh, we'll pull back, but like 20-30%. When in reality, down 52% is nothing compared to prior cycle drawdowns, where it might have been, I think the best was like 69%, the best worst. And some were, well over 90% during the bear market. So it's not, from a price action standpoint, has not been a brutal bear market, but sentiment feels like maybe the worst ever. And I think partially, speaking for myself, it feels so bad because we thought there was other factors like Wall Street tokenizing and coming on chain would have offset, the pullback. And maybe that's why we're only down 52% as opposed to being down, 69 or 90%. Maybe it is that buy pressure that is kind of holding it up or supporting it. We've got a Paul, who's a recruiter for Solana, just made a post about. I think I might have helped at least one person secure a job in the space this week by connecting someone who was looking for a job. I can't make any promises or guarantees, but if you're ever looking, I'm happy to, if you want to send me a resume, if you want to DM me and let me know, happy to keep, an ear to the ground. And it is not often, but I don't know, probably once a month that there's a team or, founder or someone I know that reaches out and asks if I know anyone that's looking. And I'm happy to, I obviously would love to make those connections. At win-win if I can. I don't know Paul, nor exactly what he's talking about here, but he says, I have an amazing founding marketing lead position available at a brand new funded on-chain prediction market on Solana. If you have strong founding marketing experience in crypto, please slide in his DMs. I'm guessing, purely guessing, but I think he's probably talking about World. If the take is right that World is going to be the Solana prediction market, that would be my guess, is they're looking for head of social and marketing at World, the new prediction market that's going to be launching on Solana. My guess. Yeah, it's Cameron. He says So could this be World? And he says, haha, I can see how you might think that, but it's not. So it's not World. I take that back. Per Paul, it is not World. Some other fully funded prediction market launching on Solana. So go get your go get your apps in if you're interested. And despite bear market drawdowns, all that, while it may not be great, may not feel great in your portfolio, it is a great time to network. It is a great time to find opportunities. I think the teams that are here, they not that they don't hire during bull markets, they probably hire more. But I think if your competition's less, there's less people looking. There's less people here, maybe more people looking for a job because their bags are down. But I think there is, these projects, these brands, these crypto natives, they, it's almost like instant vetting that, okay, this person, they're here, they are passionate about the space because they're here, they're even seeing this in the depths of a bear. So yeah, good time to network, good time to land some new opportunities, and good luck to everyone out there that is looking in this market. Again, Doma.xyz, go give our friends over at Doma some love. Greatly appreciate them. We will be continuing our the Builder's Domain, the interview series brought to you by Doma. We've got a few awesome guests lined up. I'll just say we're going to have the Klanos team on either this week or next week. We're just finalizing which exact date. Excited to chat with them. Excited to chat with Sergito, and the giveaways. It helps if you want to DM the Coffee with Captain account, and if you have anything coming to you, there's a few cards that we're still waiting wallet addresses in J. If it's same J, I know. I think we have, I don't know the exact amount, like $45 or something queued, earmarked for you on the spreadsheet. And last day we went to go send it, BZ wasn't allowing us to transfer funds. So, but yeah, DM the Coffee with Captain account if you still have, whether it was a card that you pulled in the claw machine or you swapped and have some funds. If you haven't got your card or your funds left, please do let us know. I want to get all those sent out ASAP. And apologies for any delays there. But I think everyone, as of late, other than the one funds where the BZ wallet simply wasn't working. If it's still down today, I'll just send it from another wallet of mine, and I can, whatever. I don't mind keeping funds in the BZ account. It's fine. But yeah, just DM us to confirm, and if that's what I'm thinking it is, and we'll get that out to you one way or the other today. Last day of June, hard to believe. I can't believe the year is half over already. July, great month. July, by the way, great month to be born in. Starts tomorrow. We've got smoothie.com. Speaking of Doma, smoothie.com is launching tomorrow. If you wanted to get a piece of that domain, I think that might be, rides.com was big. I think for an industry standpoint, I think smoothie.com maybe even bigger. As you think about so many retailers, so many franchises in that industry that have, quite frankly, inferior domains. And I think that checks most of the boxes for today. But we'll be back tomorrow, as always. If you've not yet hit the reminders for the show, I'll pin those up top again. Go smash those reminders. They're pinned up top for your convenience. As always, we're live here on X Audio, X Video, Abstract, and YouTube at 8 a.m. Eastern. We'll be back tomorrow once again, and maybe some. I guess certainly the Coffee with Captain and the other fun stuff we're doing. Certainly the interviews, but we have some more fun stuff loading as well for all of our supporters and community. But appreciate everyone who added to the convo today, whether in the chat or you joined us on stage. And I will rip the. Actually, we'll do that. I'll rip the packs, and then we'll send you out of here. We'll see if we get a agree. We're searching for a Mega Greninja. That's what we want to pull here. So send me your good vibes. Send me a Mega Greninja. The first one is a seal. Then we got a Shinx, a Haluka, a Doublade, Cute characters, cute IP. They could use some help with the naming. Eradicate. A Rosa's Encouragement. A Vivillon. Vivillon. This is next one's gonna be the Mega Greninja. Nope. It's a Spirities foil. Another Vivillon. This one is the foil though, and then the Mega Greninja. So Aurorus. Cute looking dino. Aurorus. It's a dinosaur with aura, and then a basic energy. So no luck on that pack. One more to pull the Mega Greninja, or the Mega Greninja. And then I'm out of Pokemon packs for now after this, if this doesn't hit. All right, Mega Greninja. Fennekin. Quailodon. Frogadier. Skrelp. It looks like a different card, but I think it's just a basic card, but it looks different. A Skatank. That's a good name. And one I can pronounce, I think. A Philip. How do you get in there? A Metagross. Now we're getting into Mega Greninja territory here. An Emma. Again, how did Emma get in here in a oh, it's because Emma's a trainer. A Phantom foil. And then this has got to be the Mega Greninja. Nope. It's a Keldeo. I don't think I pulled anything. If I pulled anything that was of value, that was a non-common, let me know. But I think I'm down bad on my Pokemon packs. Not bad, because they weren't that expensive. And I like the 10. It makes me feel like my purchase wasn't for nothing. More 10s in the world of collectibles. The Mega Greninja I'm chasing is like $250 maybe. I think that's the best card we decided in these. What are the packs? The Chaos Rising and Perfect Order. It's like a $250, $300 card, something like that. Those packs were like $6, I want to say. $5.99 something. They weren't very expensive. No, it was like a $12 10. Yeah, so $6 pack. Okay, no Greninjas today, no Mega Greninjas today, but B Epic says love to hear the names. I'm getting better. That's my pack grips are to lean into the bit of me mispronouncing names, and eventually I'll get all the soccer player names down. I'll get all the Pokemon names down. Probably more likely to get the soccer names down before I get the Pokemon names down, but I'm going to keep taking shots on goal, pun intended. And good luck with your parlays today. Good luck in the draft, the underdog draft streets. And we'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, have a wonderful, wonderful day.